Well, on the cold side earlier this morning with much milder temperatures coming into the afternoon. More about that in just a moment.
Allegiant Airlines heads back to La Crosse after its first departure. I'll have more info on that up next.
Right now this morning, a man announcing his candidacy for Winona County Sheriff. Will tell you who it is. And Ghislaine Maxwell facing Congress today, but don't expect her to answer questions. What she plans to say. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter on this Monday, February 9th, also known as Super Bowl Monday. Hope you're doing all right out there. It is 6 a.m. We'll send it over first thing to meteorologist Art Jarrett. He does have some good news for us. Mild, mild, mild.
Yeah, I've got much milder.
Oh, much milder.
I've got 40s, and then I've got some 30s pretty much all the way to Thursday with snowfall on the way. And once we get into Friday and Saturday, more snowfall and wintry mix moving in the forecast as well. And then we'll see temperatures get back in the 40s, and that'll go widespread as well. Take a look. We've got some current temperatures widespread of the 20s. Ice and snow working towards the northern portions to Minneapolis. We'll keep some snowfall still moving over the Great Lakes as well, as you can see there. And then eventually we'll get into those milder conditions in the forecast, believe it or not. 40s expected up along areas by Rhinelander and getting all the way into areas right by Green Bay. They could see a little bit of mix of rain and snow for them later on into the afternoon, all the way into the overnight hours. And that means that could work down to areas by I-94 as well. But for now, La Crosse is looking pretty good. 20s widespread as we go with cloudier skies today. Similar conditions for Eau Claire. You'll see maybe a cloud cover continuing to move in with ice and snow over them possibly into the early morning. Wind gusts up to 22 miles per hour today, down at least by 15 miles per hour for the lower spots. High temperatures today widespread in the 30s with 40s down to the south. And as we get into it, you're going to see Eau Claire picking up 30s widespread all the way into Friday. And across, well, we'll see mostly 30s turning into 40s as we get closer to Friday and into your weekend. Back to you.
Thank you, Art. Allegiant's first return flight to La Crosse will land this morning. News 8 Now Seth Padilla is live for us at the airport. Good morning, Seth.
Good morning, Alexandra. That flight will leave Phoenix at about 7:20 a.m. and land in La Crosse a little after 11 a.m. And Allegiant Airlines kicked off their service last Friday, offering 2 weekly flights to Phoenix on Mondays and Fridays. In May, the airline adds flights to Orlando, and United also expands Chicago's service to 4 daily nonstops. And that flight I mentioned previously, the one departing from Phoenix, will land here at 11:40 a.m. Reporting in La Crosse, Seth Padilla, News 8 Now this morning.
Thank you for that update, Seth. And Ben Klingner announcing his run for Winona County Sheriff. He brings more than 25 years of experience in law enforcement, emergency management, and local government leadership, currently serving as Winona County's Emergency Management Director and the Mayor of Goodview. He says his priorities include public safety, accountability, and community trust. This Black History Month, News 8 Now is taking a closer look at what life was like for Black residents here in La Crosse. News 8's Jadius McGee shows us how Black history here began earlier than many people realize.
When people think about early La Crosse history, Black residents are often left out of the picture. But research by longtime UWL professor Dr. Bruce Mauser tells a different story. In his book, Black La Crosse, Dr. Mauser found that Black Americans were a part of the city from the beginning, building businesses, owning land, and shaping the community during its earliest years.
During that time period, La Crosse's Black population was on average 1 to 2%. Some of the first settlers in La Crosse were Black in the 1850s, like 1852, when there were very few residents here at the time. And so it's evident that there were opportunities here for Black business owners, barbers, land speculators. There are a few pretty prominent Black residents who did those things.
That early presence also included political and academic excellence at a time when Black voices were often ignored nationally. One of those voices was George Coleman Pogue, a La Crosse native who went on to be one of the first African Americans to win an Olympic medal.
George Pogue, at his graduation, talked about the race issue. He was the salutatorian of his class in 1899, and even he acknowledged that there was a race issue, and he made that his speech, graduation speech, dealt with that.
Another was George Edwin Taylor, the first African American to run for president.
Dr. Mauser also wrote a book about George Edwin Taylor, and Taylor really talks about why he ran for president, which is that he felt that the national Democratic and Republican parties weren't catering to black voters, and they were ignoring this voter base. And so he wasn't running for president because he thought he would win, but to make a statement.
DeRocher and Christy Moss say telling this history matters, not just to document the past, but to acknowledge that black residents were here, contributed here, and belong here.
It brings a certain reality to the fact that these folks were here, and it matters, and we should know about it. Not just little bits and pieces, but the facts.
This is the first part of our Black History Month series. We'll have more for you next week. A lacrosse inventor is taking on big tech with a VR camera that costs a fraction of the competition. Thomas Nichols showcasing his invention at CES in Las Vegas last month, one of the biggest tech events in the world. The Western Technical grad started his company less than a year ago.
It validated that the business was viable, my research was correct, and everything that I'm doing, I'm on the right boulevard.
Tonight at 6, I break down how his $200 camera works and what it could mean for local businesses. Wood carving is a timeless hobby passed from generation to generation. News 8 Now photographer Bree Gasper takes a look at one Coulee Region group, meeting regularly to bring their creations to life.
I started out wood carving when I was a scout leader, and this old scoutmaster handed me a knife and a chunk of wood and said, this is what we do when the boys are making their dinners. And so he showed me a few cuts, and I started doing it, and then I joined a club and took a class, and it all evolved from there. With wood carving, there's multiple styles, so people can get into relief carving or chip carving or 3D figures, abstract carving, and wood is very beautiful and warm.
Just making something that looks, that a picture, you see something, and to be able to carve it, to make it look sort of like that, or depending upon the piece of wood, you got to go with whatever the wood is going to allow it to do too. You might start out wanting it to look one way, but the grain of the wood or something makes a difference, especially on bark carving. You just got to go with whatever the bark tells you it's going to, wants. It's easier than you would think. If you can peel a potato, you can carve. It's a matter of thinking before you take that knife.
It's always a challenge. Every time I do something, it's different than the last time I did it. So I enjoy the challenge. You should start when you're younger, because you're going to want retirement things to do. And this is marvelous. You can spend all day carving if you want.
For more information, you can check out the Coulee Region Wood Carvers Association on Facebook. Investigators are covering new ground more than a week after the mother of Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie disappeared. Investigators revisited Annie Guthrie's home, where Nancy ate dinner the night before her disappearance. Savannah and her siblings posting another video on social media, pleading with their mother's abductors for her release.
This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Investigators are trying to authenticate ransom notes sent to media outlets. One of them set deadlines. The first already passed, and the second is today. Jeffrey Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell will appear before a House committee today. She plans to read a prepared statement, but will invoke her Fifth Amendment right and not answer questions. Also today, Congress can begin requesting unredacted Epstein files ahead of Attorney General Pam Bondi's testimony Wednesday. Three-time Olympic medalist Lindsey Vonn's downhill dream ending with a crash. Vonn, who started the games with a ruptured ACL, caught a gate 13 seconds into her run and tumbled. Her sister says Vonn has no regrets about competing with the injury. The time now is 6:09. Still ahead on your morning news. The jobs report is delayed, but early data isn't looking good. What's happening with layoffs? And the Washington Post top boss stepping down days after those major layoffs. What's next for the paper? And which phone has the best battery life? We'll have that and more coming up in our consumer news.
Business owners, are you tired of running out of supplies? Ace Hardware of La Crosse delivers everything your business needs, from cleaning supplies to appliances. Get what you need when you need it. Set up your business account today and let Ace of La Crosse do the heavy lifting.
News 8 Now and Dairyland Power Cooperative present the Community Calendar. For more information on these events, or if you'd like to submit an event, visit news8000.com.
Eagle Crest North in Onalaska is expanding. Our tradition of excellence continues to grow with the addition of our new luxury senior apartments opening in January 2026. Choose your ideal home from well-designed floor plans featuring modern kitchens, spacious living areas, and ample storage. I'm Tammy, and I've been welcoming residents to our community for 17 years. Call me today to reserve your new home.
Join us for a weekly open house or schedule your private tour today.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Or get a total value of over $6,100 on the Sierra 1500 model. Plus get $3,000 trade allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
The La Crosse Sports Show is back February 12th through 15th.
Shop a massive selection of boats, RVs, and ATVs at exclusive show-only pricing.
Don't just buy the gear, master it.
Catch pro seminars on crappie, walleye, bass, turkey, and deer to unlock top-tier secrets from the region's best experts.
Come for the deals, stay for the fun, and come back a second day for free.
The show is open Thursday through Sunday at the La Crosse Center.
Your ticket to outdoor adventure awaits
at lacrossesportshow.com.
Can your floor stand up to this? At Sealands Carpetland, we know how hard your family can be in your home. You need a flooring that can stand up to mud, pets, and a crew like this. Don't sacrifice beauty for function. We'll help you find the perfect flooring to fit your lifestyle and budget. Come in and see our huge selection of luxury vinyl and tile. Sealands Carpetland in Coon Valley, where our #1 priority is you. Stop in today.
Business owners, are you tired of running out of supplies? Ace Hardware of La Crosse is the helpful place with the products your business needs when you need it. We service businesses of all sizes. Ask about volume discounts. Contact Jim to set up your service account today.
In our consumer news this morning, the government's job report is delayed till Wednesday, but new data paints a rough picture. January layoffs hitting their highest level since 2009, driven by tens of thousands of cuts at UPS and Amazon. Meanwhile, payroll firm ADP says private employers added just 22,000 jobs last month. Job openings are also down to start the year. The Washington Post publisher and CEO is stepping down. Will Lewis announced his exit days after the paper laid off about a third of its staff. In a note to staff, Lewis said after 2 years of transformation, now is the right time to step aside. And Starbucks Rewards members can get a free coffee today. Buy any drink, you'll get a free tall, hot, or iced coffee. You can check the offers tab in the app or ask your barista. Your cell phone might be smart, but is it strong enough to last all day? CBS's Evan Moon takes a look at which phone has the best battery.
It's the modern day panic signal, that tiny red bar telling you your phone is running on fumes.
I won't be surprised if I keep this phone another year or two or a couple months if it just starts dying out of nowhere.
As Americans scroll, search, stream, talk, and text, most may find their battery barely lasts a day on a single charge.
Throughout the day, it'll get flat pretty quickly.
The battery would just completely die. Like, I couldn't even go through a full day of school without it just like dying before I got home.
The problem is not new.
Batteries technology has basically been the same for about a decade or more.
CNET recently put 35 phones to the test. Managing editor Patrick Holland says one clearly outlasted the rest.
for battery life is the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and full disclosure, it is also the most expensive phone on our list, starting at just under $1,200.
Second place went to an underdog brand.
The OnePlus 15. Now, some people may have heard of this brand.
Rounding out the top 5, their research found Motorola also had a few models worth buying. Holland says in the last year, smartphone life has improved due to the use of silicon inside batteries, but only slightly.
In 2025, brand new phones did have longer battery life than those that were made in 2024, but it was less than 1%.
What should or shouldn't you do to conserve battery?
I mean, the first thing you could always do is just have a battery, like an extra battery pack. Turn off your always-on display. That takes up some extra power. You can dim the brightness of your screen. You can also look if you can get on Wi-Fi.
Holland says companies including Apple, Google, and Samsung promise up to 7 years of phone software support. So if you start to see bad battery life before then, take it to the store. You can just replace a battery instead of the whole phone. Evan Moon, CBS News, New York.
Do you have questions about your rights as a consumer? Now's your chance to get them answered. The DATCP taking part in a Q&A session with our sister station in Madison. You can submit your questions to that email you see there on the screen, and we'll bring you answers after the session. That's a look at your consumer news. We'll send it over to Art now. He's got an update on our weather.
All right, what are we expecting today? Well, milder conditions in the forecast, in fact, much milder. First, we start off with rain and snow that may be mixing up along areas by Rhinelander going towards Green Bay later on this afternoon, about 3 o'clock, extending all the way to 3 o'clock in the morning. That will also affect areas along I-94 as we go overnight as well. You'll see as we take a look here over the last, say, 3 hours or so, snowfall as well up to the north, getting into areas right by the Great Lakes. But once you go into it, you're going to see more of that snow working toward, I should say ice, working towards Brainerd, going towards Minneapolis as well. And that's going to make a track towards areas right by Ladysmith as it continues to go eastward. We'll hold on the 40s on the way. You see the warm front coming in, cold front also associated with that as well. Right now, we'll hold on to 20s widespread, getting into the possibility of 40s coming in our forecast, but that's going to be short-lived as we get this frontal boundary moving in. It's going to knock our clouds out later on in the overnight hours. Holding on to high temperatures, you're looking at some 70s and 80s down to the south. You're getting up to us, though. We're holding on to 40s and 30s in the forecast. The more east you go, over to the northeast, you're looking at more 30s in the forecast there. Picking up this, though, as we roll right into it, as I mentioned before, 20s widespread in your forecast today. So you're going to go out, you're going to be needing a little light jacket as well. I had a light jacket, maybe a sweatshirt underneath that as well to get you through it, but it's going to feel a little cold on your skin if you're not wearing any gloves. Eau Claire out there right now, they have a little light breeze out there. The winds aren't really shaking that flag a little too much, but La Crosse had a little breeze going through there. Holding on to 27 degrees out there in Winona. Feels like 20 now, a little bit on the chillier side for you now. Holding on to much milder conditions as we roll right through the day, again with a fairly breezy conditions with wind gusts from 22 all the way up to about, say, 25 miles per hour. We'll hold on to the possibility of that as we roll right into it with southerly winds coming in. That's going to help the warmer air on the way. So the farther south you go, the milder you're going to be. Holding on to the day, though, you get into 12 o'clock, you're holding on to drier conditions with more clouds on the way. You're also going to see a little bit of light rainfall trying to sneak through as we go right by Ladysmith and Eau Claire. Then eventually that's going to turn into a little bit of snowfall starting to develop there by Wausau. You can see above them. Then eventually as we go right into the evening, you're going to see more snow and rainfall starting to pop up along Green Bay as well as into Rhinelander. For us, though, we'll see more along the lines of cloud cover sneaking in with the possibility of more snow dropping down towards Ladysmith, going to Eau Claire as we get in the 11 o'clock hour and then overnight hours into the wee hours of the morning. Farther south, though, we're seeing fewer clouds. You get into Red Wing, more of that snowfall is trying to drop down a little bit farther over by Marshfield as well. Everybody else is getting into drier conditions in the forecast. We'll also see as we get into it, more of that snowfall is trying to get into Rochester and eventually trying to cross the river, but we don't have much in the way of cloud cover. We're holding on to mostly sunny skies to partly cloudy skies in the day for tomorrow, and eventually as we go into it, you're seeing more snowfall trying to get farther to the north and working towards Ladysmith. Other than that, we're getting into Wednesday. We're holding on to partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies once again. And then as we get into the overnight hours or start to get into the overnight hours, you're seeing more cloud cover coming in for Thursday. That's going to mean the possibility of more snowfall on the way. So 30 is pretty much widespread. Getting into areas as we go all the way into the next few days, my friends, we'll hold on to the possibility of this. Getting into the again, we'll get into milder conditions today, holding on all the way through Wednesday and Thursday with a 50% chance of snowfall on the way. Friday and Saturday, you have a 30% chance of a wintry mix, turning into drier conditions for Sunday and Monday, where those temperatures start to go from 42 to 44 degrees and possibly warmer. Be safe and have a wonderful day.
Thank you for that, Art. Now, as you start to wake up, we'll leave you with a quick wake-up call view of downtown Seattle, Washington. The city waking up, celebrating this morning. Looks like they changed those lights there to blue. Of course, the Seahawks are the Super Bowl champs after stomping out the Patriots last night. Stay with us. Your morning consumer news is coming right up. Oops.
Coming up in sports, highlights from last night's big game, plus some NBA action as the Bucks picked up some help. I've got all of it coming up in the Morning Blitz.
Allegiant Airlines returns to La Crosse for the first time since flights started. What we know this morning ahead.
This President's Day, Home Furniture celebrates with savings. Get up to 10% off sale prices like this 5-piece sectional, now just $17.99. Plus get 3-year special financing during the President's Day sale, going on now at Home Furniture.
You're a hard worker. Provide for your family and help out in your community. You've been there for so many others. But when life challenges you, when rising costs, unexpected repairs, medical bills, or simply a rough stretch make it hard to keep up on a limited or low income, you're not alone. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency assistance providers are here for you, working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. If you're struggling with high utility bills, facing a disconnect notice, or dealing with a furnace emergency and your limited or low income isn't enough, support is available. Visit www.heat.help or call 1-800-506-5596 to apply for a hand up.
Dental implants are often the best solution to severe dental issues. If you have infection in your mouth, it does cause trouble other places. A lot of people ignore infection for way too long. And when they finally do something about it, they say not only do they like what they did here, but they feel better overall. In the end, you can have a smile you're proud of and a very healthy mouth.
We're an implant-focused practice. If you think you have a full mouth of challenges, come see us. Come down for a free consultation.
Something wasn't working with my feet.
Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam.
They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
During the President's Day sale at Home Sleep Express, get 10% off sale prices on Prana Sleep and Thomas Cole Sleep. This Aurora Queen is just $8.99. Plus, get 3-year special financing. The President's Day mattress sale, going on now at Home Sleep Express.
A local vet's new invention could transform your virtual reality. It wowed crowds at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, and it could soon be in your hands. Tonight at 6, what it is, how it works, and meet the man behind it. News 8 Now, Sports.
Welcome to the Morning Blitz. Last night, the Lombardi Trophy was raised as the Seattle Seahawks took on the New England Patriots for Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara. Seattle entered the game as the favorites, and, well, they certainly backed it up. Let's do a quick recap. Over to Levi Stadium, both teams playing some great defense throughout the playoffs, and they certainly showed up last night. Just 9 points total in the first half, 3 field goals, all by Seattle's Jason Myers, so the Seahawks would go into halftime up 9. Then in the fourth quarter, it was 12-0, but with 13 and a half to play, we finally got a touchdown. Sam Darnold connected with A.J. Barner for the first TD of the game. Seahawks up big. So the Pats would need a huge comeback if they want to pull it off. Down 19 on the 35-yard line, and Drake May connects with Mac Hollins in the end zone. New England gets on the board. It's a 12-point game. Then just under 9 to play. Pats would get the ball back, but May gonna make a mistake here. That ball is intercepted. Julian Love takes it away, and from there, Seattle would close it out 29-13 the final. Kenneth Walker was your Super Bowl MVP, 135 rushing yards, 26 receiving yards. But the big story of the game, the Seattle defense, as they were dominant, much deserving of being Super Bowl champions. Over in Minneapolis yesterday, the Timberwolves were hosting the LA Clippers. LA would get an edge early. Kawhi Leonard in transition step back three, knocks it down. Clippers up 5, but Minnesota would fight back. Here's Anthony Edwards throwing it down after a nice steal. Then in the second quarter, Wolves missed the free throw, but it gets tipped back to Bones Highland. He's going to bury the triple. Minnesota takes the lead. Second half now, Wolves down 9, but check out Ant-Man. Crossing up the defense, drives to the hoop, and throws down a nasty slam dunk. One more look at it. Amazing. But unfortunately for Minnesota, LA would take off down the stretch as the Clippers get the win 115-96. In some other NBA news, the Milwaukee Bucks agreed to a deal with Cam Thomas yesterday. Now, Thomas was waived by the Brooklyn Nets at the trade deadline, but the 24-year-old can score the rock. Over the last 3 seasons with the Nets, he averaged 21 points a game. Now, he isn't the perfect team player as he will shoot a lot, but off the bench, Thomas is exactly the kind of guy Milwaukee needs. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Buy this Ashley sectional and you'll get this ottoman free. Up to 60% off list at the President's Day doorbuster deals at Slumberland. Get this reclining sofa for just $6.99 and get the recliner free. Now through President's Day only at Slumberland Furniture.
Radon is a radioactive gas you can't see or smell, but it's the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. It can seep up from the ground and into your home, and as many as 1 in 3 homes can have dangerous levels, especially in basements, where many of us have bedrooms and playrooms. Call American Water Works for an expert radon solution. We'll get radon out to help protect your family and your home's value. Don't wait. Breathe healthier today. Call the radon experts at American Water Works.
News 8 Now and Co-op Credit Union are taking part in Chase the Chill.
Chase the Chill is a project across North America that provides warm clothing to people in need. Scarves, hats, and gloves are hung on trees with notes on them, letting people know they can take them.
Co-op Credit Union and our community are conducting our own Chase the Chill campaign from December through February.
Together, we can keep our community warm this winter.
Make your donations of scarves, hats, and gloves at our La Crosse and Onalaska locations.
To everyone who values tradition, what does tradition mean to you?
Our family's been doing fish fry here for years. At Culver's, we make our fish fry the way tradition deserves.
Hand battered, right here in the restaurant.
Right here.
Right here.
The food here never disappoints.
And the best part, we get to sit and enjoy the company. Hey. Helping you spend time with your family, it's what we're all about.
From Wisconsin with love. Welcome to Delicious!
Hy-Vee is your Valentine's Day headquarters. You'll find beautiful bouquets starting at just $24.99. The sweetest gifts, like chocolate-covered strawberries. And Hy-Vee makes Valentine's date night easy, with meals you pick up and cook at home starting at just $35. Get everything you need for Valentine's Day all in one place. Order in-store or online for pickup or delivery. And make it a happy Valentine's Day with a little help from Hy-Vee.
Race to savings for your kitchen upgrade now at Menards. Upgrade your home with new appliances. We offer the lowest prices and an excellent in-stock selection of top brand appliances. Get this Criterion dishwasher for $369.99. It's easy to create your dream kitchen with Clearview Cabinetry. They offer features like soft closed doors and drawers and cabinet accessories to match your unique style. Get these Homestead kitchen cabinets for $8299.99 now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
The huge President's Day sale at Slumberland. Get a Sealy mattress for just $399. Save up to $800 on select mattress sets. Get 60-month financing on Tempur-Pedic and Stearns & Foster. Up to 60% off list, only at Slumberland.
First warn weather on News 8 Now.
Milder conditions today with temperatures reaching the 40s. More about that coming up in just a moment.
Allegiant Airlines heads back to La Crosse after its first departure. I'll have more info on that up next.
Right now this morning, a man announcing his candidacy for Winona County Sheriff will tell you who it is. And forget the resolutions. A local doctor shares some simple ways to stay healthy this year just ahead. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter on this Monday, February 9th. It is just about 6:30 a.m. on this Super Bowl Monday. Hope everyone's feeling all right out there. We'll send it over to meteorologist Art Jarrett. He's got some good news to start the week off. Hello.
I do. I have the good news. 40s expected today, and then 30s tomorrow, all into Thursday, and then by the weekend, we'll hold on to more 40s leading into your forecast as well. We get some rain and snow up there along areas right by the Great Lakes, holding on to the possibility of a mix of ice coming in as well following that, but over by areas by the Twin Cities, they could be seeing some ice mixing as we go into the next hour or two. Holding on to La Crosse, we have some cloudier skies after sunrise. We could see little partly cloudy skies to give you a little bit of sunshine, and then after that, yeah, it's all cloudiness. Yep, it's Monday. We'll hold on to that all the way into Eau Claire as well, with cloudier skies in the forecast as well after that sunshine from the start. We'll get into wind gusts from at least 15 to about 22 miles per hour. Some folks may get up to 25. Holding on to high temperatures today, though. 30s up to the north. Well, they'll see a little bit of rain and snow mix trying to get towards areas by Ladysmith for now. That'll be later on tonight getting into the forecast. For now, they're holding on to the possibility of drier conditions. 30s widespread as we go all the way for Eau Claire to finish out the work week. While Eau Claire, on the other hand, or I should say La Crosse, on the other hand, we'll get into 30s and 40s returning back for Friday, going into your weekend as well. We'll also find ourselves with this, holding on to milder conditions today in the forecast, cleaning up with some snowfall potentially coming in for Thursday at a 50% chance. Friday has a 30% chance leading into your Saturday with a wintry mix on the way. So prepare yourself and have a wonderful day today.
Thank you, Art. Allegiant's first return flight to La Crosse lands this morning. News 8's Seth Padilla is live at the airport with those details. Seth.
Good morning, Alexandra. That flight from Phoenix will depart at 7:20 a.m. and land in La Crosse around 11 a.m. Now, Allegiant Airlines kicked off their service last Friday, offering 2 weekly flights to Phoenix on Mondays and Fridays. In May, the airline adds flights to Orlando, and United also expands Chicago service to 4 daily nonstops. And that Allegiant flight lands here at 11:40 a.m. Reporting in La Crosse, Seth Padilla, News 8 Now this morning.
Thank you, Seth. Ben Klingner announcing his run for Winona County Sheriff, bringing more than 25 years of experience in law enforcement, emergency management, and local government leadership. He currently serves as Winona County's Emergency Management Director and is the mayor of Goodview. He says his priorities include public safety, accountability, and community trust. This Black History Month, News 8 Now is taking a closer look at what life was like for Black residents in La Crosse. News 8's JDS McGee shows us how Black history here began earlier than some people may realize.
When people think about early La Crosse history, Black residents are often left out of the picture. But research by longtime UWL professor Dr. Bruce Mauser tells a different story. In his book, Black La Crosse, Dr. Mauser found that Black Americans were a part of the city from the beginning, building businesses, owning land, and shaping the community during its earliest years.
During that time period, La Crosse's Black population was on average 1 to 2%. Some of the first settlers in La Crosse were Black in the 1850s, like 1852, when there were very few residents here at the time. And so it's evident that there were opportunities here for Black business owners, barbers, land speculators. There are a few pretty prominent Black residents who did those things.
That early presence also included political and academic excellence at a time when Black voices were often ignored nationally. One of those voices was George Coleman Pogue, a La Crosse native who went on to be one of the first African Americans to win an Olympic medal.
George Pogue, at his graduation, talked about the race issue. He was the salutatorian of his class in 1899, and even he acknowledged that there was a race issue, and he made that his speech, graduation speech, dealt with that.
Another was George Edwin Taylor, the first African American to run for president.
Dr. Mauser also wrote a book about George Edwin Taylor, and Taylor really talks about why he ran for president, which is that he felt that the national Democratic and Republican parties weren't catering to Black voters, and they were ignoring this voter base. And so he wasn't running for president because he thought he would win, but to make a statement.
DeRocher and Christy Moss say telling this history matters, not just to document the past, but to acknowledge that Black residents were here, contributed here, and belong here.
It brings a certain reality to the fact that these folks were here, and it matters, and we should know about it, not just little bits and pieces, but the facts.
Well, this is the first part of our Black History Month series. We'll have more for you next Sunday. A lacrosse inventor is taking on big tech with a VR camera that costs a fraction of the competition. Thomas Nichols showcased his invention at CES in Las Vegas last month, one of the biggest tech events in the world. The Western Tech grad started his company less than a year ago.
It validated that the business was viable, my research was correct, and everything that I'm doing, I'm on the right boulevard.
Tonight at 6, I break down how his $200 camera works and what it could mean for local businesses. Wood carving is a timeless hobby passed from generation to generation. News 8 Now photographer Bree Gasper takes a look at one Coulee region group that meets regularly to bring their creations to life.
I started out wood carving when I was a scout leader, and this old scoutmaster handed me a knife and a chunk of wood and said, this is what we do when the boys are making their dinners. And so he showed me a few cuts, and I started doing it, and then I joined a club and took a class, and it all evolved from there. With wood carving, there's multiple styles, so people can get into relief carving or chip carving or 3D figures, abstract carving, and wood is very beautiful and warm.
Just making something that looks, that a picture, you see something, and to be able to carve it, to make it look sort of like that, or depending upon the piece of wood, you got to go with whatever the wood is going to allow it to do too. You might start out wanting it to look one way, but the grain of the wood or something make a difference, especially on bark carving. You just got to go with whatever the bark tells you it's going to, wants. It's easier than you would think. If you can peel a potato, you can carve. It's a matter of thinking before you take that knife.
It's always a challenge. Every time I do something, it's different than the last time I did it. So I enjoy the challenge. You should start when you're younger, because you're going to want retirement things to do. And this is marvelous. You can spend all day carving if you want.
For more information, check out the Coulee Region Woodcarvers Association on Facebook. Investigators are covering new ground more than a week after the mother of Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie disappeared. Investigators revisited Annie Guthrie's home, where Nancy ate dinner the night before she disappeared. Savannah posted another video on social media pleading with her mother's abductors for her release.
This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Investigators are trying to authenticate ransom notes sent to media outlets. One of them set 2 deadlines. The first already passed, and the second is today. 3-time Olympic medalist Lindsey Vonn's downhill dream ended with a crash. Vonn, who started the games with a ruptured ACL, caught a gate 13 seconds into her run and tumbled. Her sister says Vonn has no regrets about competing with the injury. Lawmakers return to Washington today with a DHS shutdown looming Friday. Democrats are demanding immigration enforcement reforms and say they won't back down. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says his party is standing firm. Without a deal by Friday, the Department of Homeland Security will shut down. Jeffrey Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell appearing before a House committee today. She plans to read a prepared statement, but will invoke her Fifth Amendment right and not answer questions. Also today, Congress can begin requesting unredacted Epstein files ahead of AG Bondi's testimony Wednesday. After a dominating performance, the Seattle Seahawks waking up champions this morning after defeating the New England Patriots. CBS News' Gwen Baumgardner takes a look back at the highlights from the big game.
Super Bowl 60 victory belonged to the Seattle Seahawks. The team hoisted its second Vince Lombardi trophy in franchise history, thanks in part to its dark side defense, which forced 3 turnovers and held the New England Patriots to just 2 touchdowns. Seahawks running back Kenneth Walker was MVP.
We went through a lot of adversity this season, but we came together and we stuck together.
In Seattle, eruptions of fireworks at the Space Needle and cheers from Seahawks fans.
We won a Super Bowl. We changed the city. We are going to be back.
Let's go, Patriots!
Patriots quarterback Drake May also vowed to come back stronger after the heartbreaking loss.
You know, it definitely hurts. It's been a long ride.
Ahead of the big game, the NFL faced controversy over halftime headliner Bad Bunny. His performance was panned by President Trump on social media as terrible, but many fans here in Santa Clara disagree.
His performance about love and unity really spoke to a lot of people.
The Grammy Award winner's historic performance celebrated Puerto Rico's history with guest appearances from Ricky Martin and Lady Gaga. The Super Bowl kicked off with a pregame show from Green Day and Charlie Puth's stirring rendition of the national anthem. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Santa Clara.
Bad Bunny fans had their own big party last night. The Benito Bowl, named for the rapper's real name, brought fans together for a Super Bowl watch party. Many came out just for the halftime show.
Watching the game if Bad Bunny wasn't doing halftime?
This one, probably not.
I'm not a fan of football, but then when I hear about Bad Bunny, I say I cannot miss that.
People said they felt like this show was a celebration of the Puerto Rican heritage. Before we have to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, Peter is 8 weeks old and loves to be with his family.
Tala is 8 and loves gymnastics and her dog.
How about Lucas? He's 8 and loves art and his brother.
And Evelyn is 8. She loves her siblings and her horse.
All right, Lincoln is 8 and he loves sledding and football.
And Katrina is 18. She loves being in band and volleyball.
All right. Anna Rose is also 80 and she has a big party. She had a big party over the weekend to celebrate.
Happy birthday to you, Rose. Hope your party was fun. And if you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88, we'd love to feature them.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button with the Home tab on our website.
Coming up, if you're skipping your annual checkup, we'll tell you why your doctor says it matters more than you might think on Mindful Monday.
This President's Day, Home Furniture celebrates with savings. Get up to 10% off sale prices like this 5-piece sectional, now just $17.99. Plus, get 3-year special financing during the President's Day sale, going on now at Home Furniture.
If you have aging or cracked sewer lines that need to be replaced, choose Maxwell White. We make sewer replacements a stress-free process and make sure your lines are good to go for many years to come. For a limited time only, we're offering financing with 0% interest for 48 months. So call today.
In Winona, your perfect stay starts at Hotel 44 North. Stay in the heart of downtown with elegant rooms and spacious suites with kitchenettes, ideal for work, play, or a little of both. Wake up to breathtaking river and bluff views. Then hit the trail, shops, and waterfront just steps away. After the adventure, relax in the pool or sauna, recharge in the fitness center, or toast the night at Latitude Bar and Lounge. Hotel 44 North. Comfort, style, and hometown charm.
Stella Jones Corporation in Bangor has immediate openings and wants you to apply. They say this job takes grit, attention to detail, and ability to work as a team. Stella Jones Corporation is where safety matters and wages sustain a comfortable living. If you have what it takes and can stand behind our railroads, then we want you to apply today.
Yeah, I joke, my ears were her Valentine's gift a year ago. So something I'd been thinking about, and so Valentine's Day was coming around, and I spoke to Tom a couple times, but never made anything definite, and so I just kind of made the definite plan and made it happen, and glad I did. Wish I would have done it 20 years ago.
Yeah, he can actually participate in conversations now and not just shaking his head.
Better hearing is a better life.
At Taco John's, we're serving a higher standard of flavor with seasoned meats, freshly fried shells, and always hot potato olays. That's what we call West Mex. Stuffed grilled tacos are now cheesier and crunchier. Try 2 new flavors for a limited time at Taco John's.
This adorable shelter pet wants to meet you and your family today. The News 8 Now Pet of the Week is brought to you by Wisconsin Veterinary Orthopedics.
From clog drains to new faucet installations, we've got you covered. Since 1994, we've served homeowners across the area to make sure their plumbing is done right. So call us today and see what done right looks like for your home's plumbing.
During the President's Day sale at Home Sleep Express, get up to $500 off select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets with free delivery and setup and a $300 shopping cart. Plus, pay no interest for 5 years. The Tempur-Pedic President's Day sale at Home Sleep Express.
Well, good morning to you as we start your day here. Take a look here. We have clear skies right now, but if you take a look going all the way up to areas by Russ County, they have ice well up to the north of them, and that's getting closer and closer to their county as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. As we finish out going through sunrise time, we'll have cloudier skies returning to the forecast, so it's more plausible that ice could get a little bit closer to our region. We have about a 20% chance up along areas by Eau Claire and Russ County up there along I-94, while La Crosse has about a 10% chance of that happening today as well as I-90. Today we're looking at least some 40s warming into the forecast. We've been waiting for this for a while. Some folks even said they'd start wearing shorts, believe it or not. But that's going to be short-lived because we'll see more 30s coming back in tomorrow and for most of the work week. But we'll be flirting with upper 30s in the forecast, just to let you know. We get into snowfall to the north going all the way up to the Great Lakes. Ice right behind that as well, and then rainfall is behind that. We'll get all the way up into areas from the south, holding on to at least 80s with more of that warmth going right through the Central Plains states. And for us, we're mostly in the 40s, taking up 30s all the way out to the east coast. We'll hold on to temperatures right now in the 20s, though. We're starting off a little bit on the chillier side. Believe it or not, it feels a little bit colder out there, but mostly 20s, as you can see there. There's a light wind chill out there right now. They're fairly light breezes, holding on to some clearing skies right now. Absolutely gorgeous. You can see La Crosse has a little bit of the wind as the flag is there moving to your left of the screen there. And then we hold on to Eau Claire. You're having a little bit of light breeze out there right now. The flag is kind of moving just a tad bit, holding on to the early morning. So it's quiet out there right now. Going into areas by Winona, it's 26 degrees now. It feels like 25. Before it felt like 20 last time I saw you. Then we're holding on to a beautiful view there, though. If you get up to the north, you have about 3 o'clock. You're getting all the way into 3 a.m. in the morning. Up there by Rhinelander going to Green Bay, you have a bit of snow and ice on the way for you. That could affect the evening commute way up there. For everybody else, we're holding on to 40s with cloudier skies today, and that continues all the way down to the south where we see more widespread 40s in the forecast. 39 for Viroqua. That's still holding on to shy, but I submit that they'll probably see 40 to finish out the day. Holding on to 41 as you get into La Crosse, going all the way up to areas by Blair, holding on to cloudier skies. Mostly cloudy to cloudy skies getting up to areas right by Osseo, and it's similar to Alma Center as well. But you also hold on to 30s there for you. Holding on to Fall Creek, though, once you get there, you're having 38 degrees. Cloudier skies once you get into areas by Eau Claire, Chippewa Valley, and northward. You'll see more cloud cover with potential for ice in the forecast later on. So much milder as we go through the day today. Fairly breezy with those winds, as I mentioned before, up to 22 miles per hour. We'll also see them gusting that way, holding on to wind coming out of the south, We'll hold on to that as we go through the day. All the way into the noon hour, cloudier skies in the forecast to finish out your afternoon. And that takes you all the way into the evening hours as well. Then that rain and snow, I should say snowfall, starts to mix in with ice associated with that as well. It brushes Ladysmith and it comes back closer as we go in the 11 o'clock hour to finish out by the midnight hour with rainfall down to the south getting towards Eau Claire with a light shower or so. Then we'll see that continue to pick up more so as it gets over to Rhinelander and out to the east. And in fact, we'll see drier conditions going into the morning hours as we finish out with clearer skies coming in the forecast. So sunshine tomorrow as we go into Wednesday as well. Highs for Tuesday, 30s pretty much widespread to upper 30s to near 40 degrees. Wednesday's highs 30s to 40s down to the south again. 36 for La Crosse, 31 for Eau Claire. Once we get into Thursday's highs, you're looking at 30s, holding on to near 40 degrees down to the south. Boswell and New Albany look like they might have it, but we also see snowfall trying to cut in for your Thursday. That continues to move in with a mix of rain and snow down to the south, and that continues all the way into the overnight hours. All right, so how this affects us going into the next few days, my friends. Much milder conditions today, milder conditions for the work week, all the way to a 50% chance of snowfall, turning to a mix of rain and snow, possibly for Friday and Saturday. It's still like a 20 to 30% chance of that happening, and then drier conditions leading into your weekend, going into 42 degrees up to 44 for next week.
It is a new year and a good time to think about your health. Winona Health primary care physician Dr. Kaylee McCabe is here for Mindful Monday to tell us more. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning.
Yeah, great to see you. So why are annual checkups so important? You know, some people may think, oh, I feel fine, nothing's wrong. They may want to skip it. Why do we need to be going to these?
The whole purpose of annual visits is prevention, to help try to prevent problems before they ever cause major health impacts. It's also a really good opportunity for you to get to know your primary care physician, so that when something does come up, they already know you and you feel more comfortable with them too.
Okay, yeah, building that relationship is really important. What are some screenings we should all be getting?
Yeah, most of the time at annual wellnesses, we do blood tests to check for diabetes and high cholesterol. We check your blood pressure every time. We also offer STI screening and some cancer screenings depending on your age and risk.
Okay, and this is another thing, I'm sure you have that relationship with your primary. They will know what screenings you need, right?
Right, they will.
Okay, great to know there. Any new screenings or things we should be aware of?
Yeah, the colonoscopy that everybody thought was due at age 50 is now due at age 45.
Oh, okay, that moved up. Okay, and so that's kind of the big one to be aware of.
It is, yes. It's a little earlier than people thought.
Yes, yeah, okay. And how can people stay on top of chronic conditions like diabetes or high blood pressure?
That's why having that relationship with your primary care provider is so important. Make sure that you're asking them questions and understand what they're saying. And if you don't, just reach out. In addition to your primary care physician, there's also nurses, pharmacists, diabetic educators, dietitians. There's a whole crew that's there to answer your questions and help you figure it out.
Okay, yeah, and that open communication is really important, I'm sure. Any small steps that we can all be taking to support our health?
It's the little things that we can do every day, like keep a water bottle with us and drink lots of water, getting plenty of sleep at night, and trying to swap out some of those unhealthy snacks for things like fruits and vegetables.
Okay, great. And so how do you help patients who feel overwhelmed by health goals? You know, sometimes there's a lot of information coming at us, or maybe our goals are really big. How do you support those patients?
Yeah, don't try to change your life overnight. These goals are really big, and they're not meant to be achieved overnight. If you can just make one small, simple change to gradually work towards it and break your goal down into smaller goals, makes it much more attainable.
Yeah.
I also don't want you to try to change anything that's not realistic or sustainable.
Okay.
Making the small daily changes is what'll get you there.
Okay, all right. Anything else you want your patients to know, or you're telling your new patients, anything like that?
Yeah, just make sure that you pick a primary care provider that you really like and trust, and if you don't, pick a different one.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot out there, right? Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much for being here for this conversation. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
No problem. Stay with us. We're back right after this.
The frequent diners at Houghton's know all about the made-from-scratch home-cooked faves, chicken dumpling soup, the penny nickel dime meatballs, or baked chicken. Then there's the famous Friday fish fry. Those are just some of the faves where family and friends gather. Houghton's Jackson Street Pub.
A home you love. A business that endures. It takes your vision, your hard work, and your dedication to bring them to life. The right tools help. Case IH truly understands your vision and what you need to achieve it. That's why we build the equipment, the local dealer and service network, and the data and tech you want today and tomorrow. Because we don't just build our equipment to work. We build it to work for you.
Visit any of your local Johnson Tractor dealerships, now including La Crosse and Richland Center.
We love our farmers at Fleet Farm, and we're celebrating with big deals on farm supplies and over $160,000 in giveaways. The sales run all week long, but stop by February 13th through 15th for giveaways that start at 10 a.m. each day, including 100 free gift cards on Friday, 500 free tote bags on Saturday, and 500 free hats on Sunday. For more info, go to fleetfarm.com and enjoy all our farm festivities this week, only at Fleet Farm.
The La Crosse Sports Show is back February 12th through 15th.
Get face-to-face with the Extreme Raptor Show.
Learn Mad Dog and Merrill's grilling tips and enjoy Parakeet Landing.
Get ready for the season. Shop acres of boats, docks, gear, resorts, and safaris at unbeatable show prices.
Then fish the trout pond and get your trophy racks scored for free.
Come for the deals, stay for the fun, and come back a second day for free.
The show is open Thursday through Sunday at the La Crosse Center.
Your ticket to outdoor adventure awaits at lacrossesportshow.com.
Schwabel, Getz, and Sieben will fight to get you a fair settlement.
They really were on top of everything. They left nothing to chance.
I always felt that they were pushing for me, advocating for me.
They gave me such a great peace of mind. I knew that I could count on them.
They're trustworthy, and they always have your best interests in mind.
I would recommend Schwabel, Getz, and Sieben to anybody who's been in an accident.
It was fantastic.
If you've been injured in a car accident, call Schwabel, Getz, and Sieben for a free consultation.
Houghton's, the place where family and friends gather, is also the place known for the famous Friday fish specials. Flavorful North Atlantic cod, batter fried, pan fried, broiled, or blackened. Satisfy your fish craving this Friday at Houghton's Jackson Street Pub.
A local vet's new invention could transform your virtual reality. It wowed crowds at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, and it could soon be in your hands. Tonight at 6, what it is, how it works, and meet the man behind it.
Yeah, that's the stuff. The white stuff, to be exact.
Winter's here, and it looks like it's going to be a while.
It sure is. And don't forget, when it comes to winter's worst, expect more from the best. First Warn Weather. First Warn Weather on News 8 Now.
Miss a story or need to watch it again? Find them all on the News 8 Now app.
Allegiant Airlines is heading back to La Crosse, set to leave at 7:20 a.m. and arrive here at about 11 a.m. Allegiant launched service from La Crosse on Friday, offering 2 weekly flights to Phoenix on Mondays and Fridays. In May, the airline adds flights to Orlando. United also expands Chicago service to 4 daily nonstops. It lands here at 11:40 a.m. from Arizona. Reporting in La Crosse, Seth Padilla, News 8 Now.
Thank you, Seth. Ben Klinger is running for Winona County Sheriff. He has more than 25 years in law enforcement and emergency management, currently serving as the county's emergency management director and as Goodview's mayor. Jeffrey Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell will appear before a House committee today. She plans to read a prepared statement, but will invoke her Fifth Amendment and not answer questions. Also today, Congress can begin requesting unredacted Epstein files ahead of Wednesday's AG hearing. Today is National Pizza Day. Whether it's thin crust, Chicago style, deep dish, or anything in between, pizza is an American favorite. 17% of all restaurants are pizzerias. In Palm Beach, Florida, they started making pizza with iguana meat, so you can eat, make, or share your favorite pizza today. A big pizza weekend we're coming off of, indeed, Art.
All right, well, the weather's going to be nice for it as well. Warm up with some pizza. There you go. Getting into those 40s widespread. In fact, you get to the north, though, you're going to see some 30s widespread. Why? Because they've got a mix of rain and snow on the way for them later on today, possibly about a 30% chance in the overnight hours. We'll also see tomorrow's lows, as I just mentioned before, ice and snow kicking in for them. They'll also be in the 20s in the early morning hours, so be aware of that. As you can see, you may have a little trouble on the roadways. Hold down on the possibility of this, 40s, then the 30s to finish out the work week. The snowfall on Thursday, it's about a 50% chance, and the possibility of snowfall for Friday and Saturday, still up in the air on that, but right now it's about a 20 to 30% chance of that happening, going into drier conditions for your Sunday, going into Monday, with temperatures bumping up to the low to middle 40s.
Okay, looking like a pretty good week overall.
Indeed it
Some
is.
improvement for sure. Yeah. Thank you for that, Art. Thank you for waking up with us. We will see you back here at noon.